This is a 350 Sport with an unusual colour scheme, sort of a Ducati theme to it. I collected it yesterday. Got to do a load of work on the wiring. Bits and pieces need tidying up. The switchgear needs repairing or replacing. The other problem that this bike has got is a seized sump plug, and this is why I've got it set up like it is. So I've got the wheel change plate out of the bench, and I've then got a piece of wood across the gap, and there's a ratchet strap over there making sure that the stand can't fold up. And as I always do, I've got the safety straps on. So if we look underneath here, see if I can zoom in and get some focus, there's a pretty chewed up sump plug in there. Some of that was me. I've got a pretty good set of grips, but that doesn't want to shift. That is in there really tight. And I've got a good original sump plug, and these are a brass or a bronze material. They got this big flange that the fibre washer seals on, and you can see they're hollow. They've got a like a debris trap in there. In fact, this one's got a whole load of stuff down in the hole. So the plan is to drill up through the centre of the plug, and what I'm hoping to do is to just catch the edge of where the flange joins the body, and you can see there's quite a relief groove in there, but if I can separate that flange, I'll take all the tension out of this, and then the core should just unscrew and we can put a new sump plug in. So the whole idea of this setup is to give me access from underneath, and we'll start drilling this out. I've already drained the oil, because you can do so through the filter covered, or the oil strainer rather than the filter, and the oil in there was pretty black, so well overdue for a change. Okay, I think we've got you focused up reasonably well on the sump plug. I centre punched it, and I've just put a slight divot in, and there's just room for me to get up under here with the drill and get lined up decently straight. Now there will be still oil in here, and I've got an oil pan ready to stick underneath when I break through, but let's see how this goes. Okay. That went pretty well. Get this drill wiped off, and then we'll just let that drain for a bit. Obviously we want to make sure that we're not going to hit anything when drilling through the sump plug. So I grabbed a spare set of cases. This is a set I recently bought because they had a cam I wanted, and there was a gear cluster in there, and the cases will be useful as spares. As you can see, this was an engine that had not seen quite the maintenance that you'd like. But there's the sump plug hole, and there's plenty of clearance above it. This is the crankshaft windage tray, and this will be your gear selector shaft, and there's there's plenty of clearance for the step drill in there. Well, I went and had lunch whilst the oil was draining, and I also had to put the camera on charge. So now we've got the pilot hole in there, I'm going to come in with a step drill. And if I zoom out for a second, I've got just enough room to get the drill underneath, and the angle doesn't necessarily look right on the camera because of the angle, but I am straight up in there, and I should be able to go to the last step on this drill without interfering with the threads. And it looks like I've got a pretty good centralisation on what's left of that plug. And in theory, I think if I get to the final step here, the head of this drain plug will separate and take the tension off the core. So let's see how we do. Need to get some more pressure on the back of the drill. What I think I'm going to do is get another bit of wood that I can use as a lever on the back of the drill, because I'm fighting against gravity and awkward access. I'm going to go into low gear on the drill now, and the wood's really helping to push the drill up in there. Okay, I think I'm getting low on the battery, so the drill's cutting out. I'll swap the battery over. I'm just going to zoom in for a second. Too far. Focus. And judging by the way it's breaking through what's left of the hex, I reckon I got that centre pretty good. So let's carry on. You know what, I might just try and tap that round with a chisel at this point and see if now that some of the tension's come out, that'll move. It's not showing any signs of wanting to unscrew. I think we'll take it up at least one more diameter on the step. I thought I felt something give there, so I'm just going to take a pause and see if I can find an inspection mirror. Okay, I've got a little problem here, obviously, in that oil keeps dripping onto the mirror, but I reckon we're doing pretty well. That's good and central, and I'm just going to keep going at it with the step drill. Might just go in there with the chisel again, see if anything wants to move. Oh, there we go, that's turning now. I managed to take enough tension out of it that it's unscrewing, which is perfect. With any luck, I've got enough exposed to use the slip joint pliers on it. Oh yeah, there we go. In fact, I think it will just, yeah. Gonna have to wash my gloves again. Success. So there we are, there's the drain plug as removed. We weren't perfectly on centre, but pretty close. I was holding the drill at a slight angle, but we had plenty of meat in the boss with the threads, but down at this end, that last diameter was pretty close to the size of that relief. So as we got down close, the tension came out of the metal and took the pressure off the threads, and we could then unscrew the drain plug. So that was the job I was thinking was the most difficult and awkward, and it was awkward but not actually too difficult. That counts as a success.